So hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. We're here looking at LMU on my very new RTX 5090 gaming PC. We're going to be looking at the game itself. I'm just going to click on this. Obviously you can see in the background we're just looking at some of the setup changes that I'm making. This is a fixed race in an online lobby, currently running in at Monza on the McLaren, or in the McLaren 720S. I think it's one of the new cars to the game, along with the Lamborghini, I think. But just getting to grips with how competitive this game really is. I am using Crew Chief as well in the background as my spotter, which works an absolute dream. But there's just, I can't believe the level of skill from the drivers within this game. It's almost like I've run games before on the Assetto Corsa Competizione where you kind of start from the pit lane and try and finish first. That just would not happen in this game whatsoever. If you take a little spin, 9 times out of 10 you'd be lucky to finish in the top 15. If you get taken out at any point during this 20-minute race, running off the circuit, there's no way you're going to be picking up a podium. It is a battle with every single driver, I think. Because of the fixed setup element, there's no one that's really hugely faster than anybody else. Obviously some of that comes down to skill level, and the BMWs and the Aston Martins do seem to be a little bit more competitive here at Monza. I do need to spend a little bit of time in the Aston Martin. I don't particularly fancy the BMW. I have tried driving it, but it just sounds just a little bit too boring for me. But I would like to try and get in the Aston Martin. Definitely through the final sector, I seem to be losing about 6/10 to the Aston Martins, which should clearly take me into the 49 regions. But currently I'm very much on the tip of a 149.8, 149.7 in the McLaren, but I've not seemed to replicate that in the game. I think it probably starts out not 100% perfect track conditions, but just on the run up to the line there, just using the pit speed limiter to keep that 60 mile an hour or 60 kilometers an hour distance between the car ahead. And it's good just to punch the limiter off and away you go down to turn 1. So we're going to be on board and looking in a few of the other cars as well throughout this race. Everyone getting off to a nice start.
Still there.
You can hear the Crew Chief spotter. So much better than the normal spotter.
Hold your line. 3 wide, you're on the right.
And as much as there are always comings together, especially in the Assetto Corsa Competizione, people just seem to have that a little bit more discipline in not wanting to pick up any damage in this game. And if you see there, just in the top left hand corner, you're looking at 165 FPS, which is what I think the game maxes out at during replays. But obviously you can see there, we can flip between the two. Anything you see like this is from the replay, and whenever you're in car with me, you're getting actual frames per second. Obviously I am running this on a 165 Hz monitor, so I'm never going to see more than 165 FPS. So this was purely a test so you can see how much the system's capable of outputting. So you can see that up to 275 FPS at 2K. Everything's absolutely maxed out when it comes to graphics. There's not a single, we're running 60 cars available on grid. As far as you can get visuals in the distance, everything's 16 times anthroposcopic filtering. Every single shadow's maxed out, every grain of dirt is maxed out. It really does do a fantastic job. But like I say, it's all geared towards getting VR up and running, so there's definitely a little bit of spare headroom. When I'm racing on my own, maybe doing just lap times qualifying, I'm probably getting close to about 470 FPS. And you just can't see that on my monitor. It's a 165Hz monitor, so I'm only ever going to see 165 frames. So you're just taking a little tap from the rear from the BMW driver.
No big deal.
It did qualify ahead of me, so he is a little bit quicker. Beautiful, even looking at the carbon fibre in the paint, the flex, it really does look beautiful. And I finally managed to record this through OBS at 2K. So everything that you see here is what I see when I'm racing. Apart from obviously the frames per second on YouTube, it's only going to ever do 60 FPS. So you're not actually seeing it in its true fidelity, smoothness wise. You're only going to see 60 FPS on YouTube. And a lot of the videos on YouTube generally run at about 24 FPS. And so it's very hard to try and convey the frames per second that we're actually getting in this video. I have tried to do a little bit with the filtering so that you can see some of the dark blacks and everything that I see on my monitor when it runs through OBS. It sometimes looks a little bit washed out to me, so I have tried to bring that into the elements. I think the LMU sky could definitely do with a little bit of blue in it. It does look very grey and boring. The skies really could do with brightening up a little bit. They do change, you can see a few little filters of blue coming through there. And McLaren just coming out of the pits is going to get involved in this scrap for third place really. And it is quite annoying down into this turn one. Someone's taken out the 150 and the 100-yard board, which really does catch me out for, I'd say, at least 4 laps while I'm trying to figure out a new braking point into turn one, which is a crucial braking point, and it can make or break a lap getting that right into turn one. Coming through this corner as well, too deep, having to come down into first gear. I would like to carry second gear through that corner. Coming into the first Lesmos as well. A lot of cars I've noticed drop down into third gear. I think the McLaren just seems to get a better exit in second gear. Again, second Lesmo, third gear, a lot of cars.
0.7.
I just find myself wanting to drop down into second gear.
We've got 15 minutes.
And again, through Ascari, I've tried staying in third gear. It just feels nicer through second gear because I can't seem to max the acceleration through that last phase. Just doesn't want to stick in third gear. And I'm really not sure whether it's carrying more speed. As we drop back then into the Lexus, so you can get a different listen to some of the other engine sounds within the game. A much more throatier sound from the Lexus. Yeah, the new PC is running very nicely, as you can see there, the GPU, probably about 56 Celsius is the hottest I've ever seen it when we're in game. Obviously when we're running in this replay like we are now, it doesn't really tend to get any hotter than 50 degrees. Even editing, this is the first time I've edited a video on Filmora on PC. Everything's usually always done using my Apple iPhone 15 Plus, but when we start editing videos in 2K that are about 30 minutes to an hour long, and this is like two overlapped videos, so we've got two 2K videos being edited in this video. The new PC just crunches it in no time whatsoever. It's like, what, 5 minutes to render a 2K video? Something. I didn't even sit and watch it render it. It done before I even came back, so That's me actually guessing it took 5 minutes, but it was all done so quickly, unbelievable. But I am just using the basic package. I just wanted to see how Filmora works on PC. I think it's £40 a year for this package, and I think if we went to the premium version it's another 20 quid a year. So I'll probably end up pushing the boat out and getting the 20 quid a year extra package. And you can see we're just on very much on the corner of on the edge of grip through Parabolica. They are beautiful, some of the replays, especially when I look at the dust that's created when you run offline. The particles just hang throughout the entire image. It just never seems to settle. I would love to see the particles and the dust just sort of wash out as other cars run through them. You can see there I am getting hounded. You see the BMW there that was in 3rd place just spinning out. That's one thing I did do during my setup, or I say setup, the setup adjustments that I add with the traction control. I very much like using a higher traction control than I've seen a lot of people running. And going back to the days of Assetto Corsa Competizione, I always used to have buttons mapped to my wheel to switch the traction control on and off. And you can see me there just picking up the dirt, and I do get squeezed here onto the dirt. Only the tiniest of taps, but it was pretty fair really, as much as I'm flashing at the guy. See the dirt again there hanging in the background. But yeah, there is a button, I've mapped a button to my wheel to disengage the traction control completely, so all the slip comes off, all the traction control comes off. And right now that button is pressed on the exit of here, and then I release it again as we come into Parabolica. I'll just until I've got a feeling and that the car has got grip, and then I'll push the button and exit the corner with no traction control impeding the acceleration. And I find that a much easier way to not have these little spins like you saw in the BMW earlier. You start running a lower traction control to get the acceleration off the corner, you run into that hazard really of getting too much wheel spin on the exit. You're too scared to get on the power, and I just feel like now, bang, I push the no traction control button, the car's nicely in a straight line, we've got full grip available, and that's how I've been using it. And like I say, I'm in a very competitive 1 minute 50 lap around Monza here, but I would like to see hitting a 149, to be honest. You come back from the days of Assetto Corsa Competizione and hitting 146s here at Monza. It's a long way from that with the current grip model, but still everybody else is setting very similar lap times. But for these guys, as we're on board with the leader here, he seems to be hitting 149s. But just looking at the difference, how he's carrying 3rd gear, especially through the 2 Lesmos there, he'll probably carry 3rd gear through Ascari here. Doesn't ever seem to lift through there as well, as much as he runs wide. Not sure whether he's picked up a good track limits penalty there or not. I just cannot carry. I can carry 3rd gear through there, but not flat out like the BMW seem to do just there. He's certainly carrying a lot more speed through the final sector. But I just thought I'd come on board with the BMW to see what kind of gearing he's going through some of these other corners. So coming across the line there, 150.9, not one of the best laps. And you can see down the bottom there we're managing the energy, virtual energy, so that we've got fuel that's in the car and energy running very similar lap times. I think I brought the energy ratio down to 79%, which is something I did see on Dave Cam's YouTube channel, how he calculates the energy ratio that you need, which is pretty easy, just dividing averages, energy used, and energy used per lap overall. See there, I love that. The dust in the background just stays there the full lap. Something that I'm just not used to coming from console. Seeing this dust linger for so long. All the sparks that seem to be flying, the night races are absolutely amazing.
Caution here.
But graphically, it's not amazing.
It looks like Christian has messed up. Green flag.
Maybe I was expecting more, but I think I'm expecting more when the VR headset arrives. That it really is
Cut warning there.
what my heart's really set on for continuing sim racing. My mind really is made up, having spent numerous sessions at the venue in East Kilbride.
Lap 4, Robbie, 1:49.
Just being in the car and visually looking around it just feels like a completely different game altogether, rather than watching it on a screen like this and having elements around you that aren't within that field. I think the immersion of VR is just off the scale for me. It just makes you feel like you're in the car itself.
31 Celsius, gap ahead.
So you can see there getting on the power, just disengaging that traction control a little bit too early. I love the little scratches on the windscreen, little stone chips that appear throughout the race. See the tyres even down the bottom corner, just not quite getting temperature. Still we start getting on the brake. See they're carrying second gear through there, running through the dusty air. See it all in the rear view mirror. It never fades away, it just doesn't. It's absolutely amazing.
Got a caution in second.
Much better lap then.
Green flag sector 2.
Just picking up that inside curve, didn't really want to do that. You can see the delta dropping away. But I do like how it filters through the replays as well. It's not the same replay lap after lap after lap. It does filter through a selection of television cameras, aerial view cameras, in-car views. It's just beautiful, isn't it? But I was running a number of laps on the Le Mans circuit in the Mercedes. I did want to run in the Ferrari, but it seems to be a little bit glitched at the moment. Absolutely no grip in the Ferrari. It feels like a completely different car at Le Mans circuit. But I was managing to set a 4:03 there. It's such a long lap, it really is. Down into turn 1, just starting to get a grip with where I need to be braking there, and definitely catching this third place driver. But if you are looking at starting Le Mans Ultimate, it is a very different game to Assetto Corsa Competizione in the level of competition. Every single driver in this game, for me, is a good driver, a competitive driver, right the way down to P10. Probably even further down, the whole grid's competitive. It's just a few tenths here and there. Obviously we can see, I think it's Ronnie Stapleford in P1, in a totally different league of his own. Up front, not battling at all. He's got a clear track ahead of him, and he was setting, I think, 149.5s, 149.6s throughout the race. So I definitely need to be in the 149s. Just doesn't feel doable in the McLaren. As much as it is doable, a 149.999 I had the other day with a 149.7 on the cards. Just not managing to put it all together in one lap. But yeah, looking at the leaderboard of lap times, I was literally matching the fastest other McLaren on the leaderboard. But there's only BMWs. I think there was a Corvette actually as well in the 149s. You see the third place driver then just getting a little bit out of position through there, trying to get the switch back on the exit, much better exit, right under his gearbox then, coming up into the, I forget the Varialti or something like that, this first chicane. But even the toe is very little toe, just getting up on the inside of him. I think he does know I'm a little bit quicker. Bouncing over the curbs, disc brakes glowing.
Good pass, now hit your marks.
And that beautiful
Guy ahead of us is Cox.
encouragement from crew chief really does add a better element to the game of like having the pit crew talking to you throughout the entire race, telling you where the drivers are behind, how people are lapping, how good you are, and you see there just emphasising that dust in the background. What can I say? I'm blown away with a bit of dust. But as for people talking as well about the end of the Assetto Corsa Competizione, I think so much focus right now is on Assetto Corsa Evo, which isn't actually blowing me away at the minute. I'm not really interested about playing it until I get the VR headset. It doesn't feel any better really than Assetto Corsa itself, and playing that on PC is a totally different game as well.
Green flag sector 3.
So many different shader patches and stuff like that. The gaming PC has just blown me away really with what's available, and I'm looking forward to getting hold of Flight Simulator as well once I've got VR. So much coming for the channel, but I think I need to learn to edit these videos using the PC, because it's using 4K and VR footage. It's the phone's just not going to cut it any longer with being able to edit this kind of footage on, to be able to deliver what I'm seeing on your screen when you're watching it on YouTube. But hopefully you keep coming back to the channel. I know I've been working so much recently. I feel like I've been away from home a lot with work. I have been very busy this year, and that is very much in the hope of taking January off in the coming year to get my shoulder operated on and try and get some pain out of this shoulder and potentially get the other one done at a later date. Definitely feel like sim racing has had an impact on my physical ability through my shoulder anyway, as well as calisthenics training. But hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I know I don't put out loads of content, but if you found anything useful on the channel, please do like and subscribe. Share the video with your friends. Yeah, just keep coming back. You never know what content I'll have coming soon. If you're interested in VR gaming or sim racing in general, I generally do have tips throughout these videos. See there, just coming across the line then. Really enjoying racing in LMU. I'm sure I'll come back to console every now and then, but just blown away with the PC right now. You can't really help me for that. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. Really appreciate you coming back. You see there, setting a 149.5, my own fastest lap of 156. So yeah, definitely a full second somewhere to be finding. But I do like this little thing. I do skip ahead here and leave this and do come back when it shows me the race results. Moving around these lobbies is quite difficult sometimes, I think. And then you just click to come into the next race that's coming up. And then we see there just in the top right, online results ready. I can just see me picking up P3, which is quite nice. I would like to see some sort of trophy kind of celebrations, I think, when you've got this far up. But yeah, I'll leave you there, leave your video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. As always, until next time, ciao for now. Or sayonara.